He's actually tied with Rain in regular matches for most wins for SK Telecom. He's 6-2 against Zerg. One of the best in this matchup. We've said it many times before.
Yeah. Got that GSL victory pin right there. Showing off. Bringing it in, man. This guy's a champion.
Yeah, he is.
EffOrt is a player. And Brudor had so much success, so much fame, so many fans. We're really disappointed with his performance in StarCraft 2. It's only recently that he's been able to really make some waves. And CJ has relied upon him in important matches, in important playoffs in the past. He has come through from time to time, but not very consistently. And that's why, especially when you look at his 1-4 Zerg versus Zerg record, you feel like this is going to be a tough one. He had the best matchup in ZVZ when he first switched over to StarCraft 2, but it's not the case anymore.
Definitely is not. Switched to that GVT matchup. Really, really good in that matchup. He's taken out people like Maru before. But this is a totally different matchup, a totally different game, totally different time.
This is the most important time, in fact, Brandon. Soulkey versus EffOrt. Can EffOrt force the ace match, or is SKT going to the finals? Let's find out right now on Overgrowth.
Up here in the top right, in the red for SK Telecom, Soulkey.
And, of course, his opponent for CJ Entis is EffOrt down in the bottom left in the blue. And what a cool matchup this will be. We'll wait and see how these two players open pool-wise. I want to give a small, a few random asides here while we wait for this game to heat up, assuming there are no early pools in which way, so I'll cut myself off and we'll talk about it. But there's one thing I really want to mention, which is that the Kespa logo contest is still ongoing. Design a logo, you win a trip to Korea, come to the finals, and chill out, watch the games, and even get a drink with me and all of Team Salmon.
Yeah.
If you win, if you come down here, so make a sick logo.
That's a promise, guys.
Yeah, and you'll also make a big impression. Your logo will be used on this tournament, potentially for years to come.
Yeah, and I heard the design of the trophy is actually based on the logo as well.
Yes.
So, think about that. You create the logo for the design of the Kespa Cup trophy.
This is from players from all over the world. Our best Pro League players. So get on that.
If you're a graphic designer, you could put that on your resume. You're like, I designed this trophy, man.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, actually, well said. So get on that, because there aren't that many submissions. We have gotten a lot more since we said that last time, but there still is not a massive amount of submissions yet. And I know there's a lot of great artists out there. So we have a hatch first for both players. And it looks like a pool goes down a little bit more safely for EffOrt, whereas Soulkey takes the greedier gas and an additional drone before doing his pool.
Yeah.
See if he makes even more drones. Actually, he does. One more right before the pool.
So we are going to have a bit of time here before these guys get into it.
Yeah. Another thing to note, just on a completely unrelated note, even outside of StarCraft, I know a lot of you guys like to watch StarCraft on your phone, and there was a massive update to the Twitch app for Android just yesterday, so I recommend downloading that if you're a big fan of watching things on your phone, because you can get all sorts of extra info on streamers now. It's a lot easier. The UI is really cool. Really like it, and I've been really happy with that since I've been using it, watching TI last night and whatnot. So
I actually got to check that out. I didn't even notice that.
It's a huge update. Really sick. Definitely recommend downloading that right now.
Right now?
For this early game. Well, you can open up your phone. Don't close this, but I mean, you can unlock your phone and download it. It'll take like 2 seconds to go to the update screen and press that button. And you just have that run in the background while you're watching Pro League. It's a good feel.
Yeah.
So right now, arguably Soulkey is slightly ahead because he has the better tech. He's taken a little bit of a greedier drone opening as well. And his income is going to be in a pretty good place when it comes to gas, obviously. He's even actually made some additional Zerlings here to control the middle of the map. Not going to matter, but he does push actually EffOrt's scouting Zerglings away. EffOrt has taken his gas back at home, but it's very late. Just now finishing. And a Roach Warren comes up.
We got a Roach Warren, yes we do. And he's continuing to mine that gas.
Could see a very aggressive timing here.
Yes, we could.
Worked for Hydra earlier.
I actually heard the Korean casters say Hydra's name, so
yeah,
we're on the same page here, guys.
Yep.
This Queen getting a bit out of hand. Gonna have to kill that Zergling before he gets that Overlord.
Killing it. Trying it.
Getting it done. Doing the work. Defending her colony.
Killing the Overlord just like Hydra.
Yeah.
Extra Overlord's already queued, though, for EffOrt, so that's not going to be an issue.
We got 7 roaches on the way, 8 roaches.
Starts a spine and gets that Evolution Chamber wall set up.
This is looking very similar to that other game, actually, Sue versus Hydra.
Yeah.
Again, the Zerglings come to the front. They see the spine. They see the wall.
But keep in mind that in this particular case, it looks like, honestly, EffOrt's even better set up here to defend. The only thing that's concerning is that his Roach Warren is part of his wall, so if that gets sniped, that could be a very big problem. Even if that's all that Soulkey accomplishes here, if he snipes that Roach Warren, that means the next attack, similar to what Hydra did where he had that follow-up attack, is going to be so much stronger.
EffOrt just made a huge round of drones. Look at that drone count, 33 to 23. He does not have enough units right now to defend this. He's making another spine and a bunch of Zerglings.
Yeah, he just doesn't have enough resources, doesn't have enough open supply to really make the Roach count he needs. And there we go, that Roach Warren is exposed. He even opens the wall here to let the Roaches come through so that his Zerglings can get surrounding. You know, he doesn't want the Roaches to just fight him on the edge there. Transfuses are going down on this Spine Crawler he's trying to hold. Army supplies are comparable here, but Roaches are the better composition. Keeps transfusing that Spine, and a lot of Zerglings are coming out here. It looks like he's actually going to hold. Does kill a Queen here, but a nice hold by EffOrt right now.
Yep, and now he has, well, now he's going to clean this up. That second Spine is going to do really good work behind this. And behind this, actually, Soulkey has droned up pretty successfully, so it's not a full committal here. Just trying to do a lot of damage, and he did some, as long as he can hold off this counterattack by the Zerglings.
Zerglings are going to do a lot of damage here counter-wise. They're also going to be able to deny a third base very easily. Might even be able to snipe this Queen. Soulkey's in a lot of trouble here. He needs to get his own Zerglings out. He's making them right now, but they're not ready yet. And this is actually really terrifying. Now he's going to go over here and fight these Lings. Queen is helping out in the back. Really nice spot there between the Assimilator and that Mineral Patch. But again, gets cleaned up here. SKT fans clap a sigh of relief here.
Yeah, but again, like with that attack, he just drones up behind it really heavily. So EffOrt gets the advantage here in drones once again.
Certainly. You know, I feel like attacking in there might not have been the best choice. It was definitely a split-second choice that he had to make there really quick. I feel like controlling the map with his Speedlings and making sure his opponent doesn't take a third while he gets one with the extra minerals he's banked right now up to 700 might have been a good choice instead. But as it is, now he's lost control of the map. He still has a better worker count. And he is going to, you know, move those Zerglings out. He did actually make a lot more Zerglings, so he can regain that control, take this third base. Let's see if he can actually deny the third base of Soulkey right now. That would be huge. He's going to have to run over there and do it, though, past these Roaches, past those Lings. And the drone is hidden. Finds it. Nice.
Yeah, going to delay it for a while here. He gets his own third base up ahead of Soulkey here. And he's got the upgrades ahead of Soulkey as well. Got the +1 on the way. Speed is comparable.
Yes, it is. And again, there's just a lot of Lings on the map here. Trying to come over and force a cancel on this hatch. Not quite enough. Does force a reaction. Does force Lings to be pulled over here. And he wants to come over and try to make something work with this. He pulls the Lings away. Wants to go and snipe it with his other Lings. But unfortunately, Soulkey realizes this. He has Overlords all over the map for vision. So he's able to see this coming across. Notice that EffOrt has taken a massive army supply lead. They're both going to have speed done around the same time, but EffOrt's had +1 for a long time now. And that's going to allow him to take a pretty good fight coming up here if that does come to it. Anytime Soulkey moves out, he's going to just come over there and try to backstab that base.
Yeah. Let's see if EffOrt decides to move out here. I mean, he has the advantage, we know of it right now because of that +1, but not going for it just yet. Soulkey getting his own army supply back up to par just at the moment, and EffOrt moving into position to deny this third base harass. Should be just fine. He's even got those leftover spine crawlers at the front of his wall at the natural, so if any counterattacks happen over there, we'll have some better defense for that as well.
Yeah. So, moving a spine crawler over here, trying to get that extra safety. This game is going to the later stages. I mean, it's all about small advantages now. He's going to actually go ahead and do a contaminate here on this hatchery. And coming over here, actually going to snipe a queen. Not going to get that base, but getting the queen is pretty huge. That affects the larva quite a lot.
Yeah, as well as the contaminate. So that's 2 places where you're going to get a lot of larva denies. And Soulkey, in response, he's going to try to move out here. I'm not sure if this is the best idea. He's actually down in army supply right now compared to EffOrt.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to work. But his composition has more roaches in it, I believe. There's a lot of that army in Lings for Soulkey, or rather for EffOrt right now. Actually, looking at it now with a few roaches popping out, it's still better for EffOrt. I don't think he's going to be able to make an attack work here. They're both now going into +2.
Is he going to be able to snipe this queen again? Oh my god, survives with 1 health.
Could actually just go over and snipe it with 1 ling after this anyways. But that's so huge that he saves it. Keeping that larva inject going. That's really, really important right now. Soulkey significantly behind in this game right now.
Yeah, EffOrt showing some good ZVZ prowess. Really liking it so far.
Notably, we didn't get to see it on screen, but I noticed on the production tab there was another contaminate, but this time on Soulkey, or rather Soulkey used it on EffOrt's +2. So that actually slowed it down a little bit, which is important because his +2 is pretty behind. Small little harassment force. We'll go over here, maybe try to get some kills, maybe get some information. Runs in the main.
To run, yeah, right into the main. Not going to be able to snipe that queen. There's too many roaches back here. But he will get that information you were talking about.
Yep. All of them will finally get picked off here. And the rocks being torn down in the middle of the map to allow him to get different flank positions, maybe attack from 2 different locations while he's being attacked. Bit of a defensive measure here. EffOrt takes his base, does the same to those rocks. Now my question is, who's going to get burrow movement first? Oh, the answer is already on the production tab, actually. EffOrt is getting that out a little bit more with that bank that he has.
Yeah, man, he's just very slightly here, just a little bit ahead, and he's making these advantages count. He's just trying to get these little techs ahead. He's getting the upgrades a little bit ahead of Soulkey as well. And it's really looking good for him right now. He's making more roaches, going to keep that lead ahead in roaches as well.
Another hatchery going up here, but it's very late for Soulkey. Very, very far behind. So we'll see if he's able to make up for it. I mean, it's not so far behind that it's game ending, but again, it's just another small advance for EffOrt. He's going to have that gold mining a little bit faster to build that bank that he already has an advantage in. If you start seeing max roaches versus max roaches collide, the player with the better bank is always going to end up winning in the end because he's going to be able to make much more roaches. He's going to be able to eventually overwhelm his opponent. If you got the bank to remax much faster than your opponent, then that's how you win games in ZVZ. That's how the meta is with mass roach versus mass roach. There's not much else to say about it. Sometimes you see infestors, but you know, making an infestation pit is often like saying, well, I'm not making 10 roaches and then I'm going to die.
Yeah. Gold Blaze coming down here for Soulkey and having this 1 Zergling over here to scout just to see if there's any rogue Zerglings out of EffOrt on the edge of the map. Make sure he doesn't die to any more run-bys, killing his queens.
Yeah. Infestation pit does go up, actually. He's ready, man. He's doing it. He's also getting the +2 armor. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Soulkey... Okay, no. He did actually get this +1 armor, so they're both going into it now. I've been taking a look at the actual unit tab a lot, so I got confused there. Still no burrow movement for Soulkey, though. It's about to finish. And they're both going to have that extra harassment potential. Larva counts are going to become important as well. All those injects missed earlier during those contaminate moments. You know, the queen lost. How much larva is he going to have left? Because if you have enough minerals and gas to make infinity roaches, it doesn't matter if you don't have an infinity larva.
EffOrt's doing a little cute thing over here. He's sending just 4 roaches on burrow movement all around the map, just trying to get a good scout on the middle of the map. Nice contamination goes down by Soulkey. Looks like EffOrt may have done the same.
Yeah, or at least is planning to, perhaps, when he has the energy. I might have just hit the natural. Doesn't matter which hatchery you hit, really. It's all basically equal in this case. I suppose if you hit the one that's closest to reinforcing, I guess I can make it slightly bigger.
All hatcheries created equal?
Something like that. Except the spawning one, that was free. So, Sport Crawler we're killing Overseers so fast. Not even sure what the Sport Crawler is for. I guess to protect this hatchery from contaminate. Yomer's Spine Crawler is going up back and home for EffOrt. His Hive is going to be done first. He's going to have Pathogen Glands, so he can start adding infestors. That's why he's saying these roaches across the map too, in these small groups of 4, try to trade for some drones so he can get a little bit more freed up supply so he can actually go into infestors, go into Hydralisk. You see the Hydralisk range is now on the way. Spinecrawler is being repositioned to gain high ground advantages.
Big group of units here. Big group of roaches coming over to the right side for EffOrt. And the same for Soulkey, actually. They're going to bump into each other. And if he was paying attention to that, he would have seen. But he is ready there at the top of the ramp, so it doesn't really matter.
Yep. A few roaches over here going to try to sneak by with their spines. And again, any roach EffOrt loses, he's happy to replace with infestors. He's also getting 3-3 right now, much faster. Just going to go ahead and trade a few of these for some drones. And those roaches do get found and killed.
Yeah.
Notice that the bank in gas for Soulkey is quite high. He still isn't using it on anything. These roaches will get cleaned up.
Yeah. EffOrt just dumped all of his gas into 8 infestors, actually, and a bunch more upgrades as well. So that's where his gas went. No infestors just yet for Soulkey.
It's actually even getting Hydra speed. Doesn't have the much better army in total here. All right. Roach is poised now on the high ground. Definitely not an engagement Soulkey wants to take straight up.
Oh, no.
Especially with infestors here.
Looks
so
like
they
he's
don't even know
poised
if
to
he's
take
seen
one,
it.
though.
There's no way he can engage this.
Yeah, he sees it now. And he immediately backs off. Does not want to take that engagement.
Okay, here we go. Roach is moving forward. This is an engagement that EffOrt can take, on the other hand, even with good splits here by Soulkey. He's actually going for a sandwich, almost like cutting his army in half. And he's going to send one army over to the gold base, maybe even run past it while the other army goes to the natural, but a good split defensively here by EffOrt. He's going to target his hatchery down. He will get it, but this army's going to get crushed. Needs to get fungled again, though.
It's going to get crushed, and EffOrt's doing the same thing to the gold base Soulkey, and he's got no defense over there. He's just coming over here and sniping hatcheries. He's going to get 2.
It's actually pretty nice here by Soulkey to actually grab these hatches, because he's going to get 2 hatches for the price of 1. And they're both at such a high bank that, oh, no way he gets this hatch as well. Does he? No, he's not targeting that. So,
going to be pretty close. And Soulkey did a very good job in stopping that defense. I mean, he did lose his gold hatchery, but he didn't lose anything besides that. Soulkey definitely did more damage with that attack.
most notably, there's another 4th base for Soulkey. He has one up the top left.
Ooh, and Ultra's on the map. 2 on the way, as well as a Spire up as well.
It's interesting. Ultralists, of course, are going to be able to, with their Frenzy passive, not be locked down with Fungals, but interesting. So he saves that hatch, so it's now 4 bases against 4, or 3 with the 4th being remade. The Ultralists, if you fight Ultralists against Roaches on creep, the Roaches will kite the Ultralists to death easily, especially when your Roach support may also be Fungal. Fungal does damage to Ultras, just doesn't lock them in place. I don't know, man. We haven't really seen this in a while, and really in competitive play very often in several years.
Soulkey's doing a really good job. He's going to snipe down this hatch once again. Gets the cancel, though, does EffOrt. And all these Roaches should be able to go down. Yeah, get totally surrounded here.
Get owned. But this lack of economy here for EffOrt is made up for by the fact that he has a massive bank, and he just keeps remaxing Roaches. He's seen the Ultralists now. At least he has them. He has the view of them on the minimap. I don't know if he's actually looked at them with all the looking he's having to be doing at all of his different bases with this crazy good harassment here by Soulkey. If Soulkey's gamble with the Ultralists doesn't pay off, though, he's got a lack in gas bank, and counterattacks are going to be deadly. He's going to come over here and try to hit this base again. I think he might actually get it. He's got +3 on those Roaches. A few volleys is all it takes. Transfuses, though, save it for now. We'll eliminate these Roaches. The Spine's helping out on the right as well. And this group of Roaches will be shut down too. So Soulkey's really now banked on these Ultralists, basically winning them the game.
Yeah, he really is. He's trying too much to harass, and he's lost all of his gas bank right now, making those Ultras. He's doing a good job. He's got some burrowed Roaches spread out in the main of EffOrt that have not been cleaned up. He has some to the right as well as the 3rd base. And he's just waiting for this attack, and he's got Ultras.
The Ultras also have no attack upgrades. The first one is on its way now, but besides that, he's at +0 versus all these roaches that are going to go up here. He sees the Ultras, and he's going to try to approach very carefully. Spread to have a few roaches to tank, even Infested Terrans to tank. Fungal Growth's going down as well here. Just so many roaches, and the Ultras at the back not able to fire. Don't know if this is going to pay off here for Soulkey. It doesn't look like it. The Ultras are getting burst down so fast by these +3 roaches. Few roaches for Soulkey coming through at the back, but I just don't think this composition is viable still.
No, it doesn't look like it, man. He totally rolls over him with Infestor Roach. Hydra dances his army, says, get out of my game, let's go to an ace match. And it looks like EffOrt has forced just that.
So many upsets today. So many back and forth series in this semifinals. And we're going to our second ace match here today, Brendan. It's happening. This is real. This is Pro League. What's up? This is game over, man. There's nothing he can do to come back from this. I think he's just trying to accept it. He's trying to come to terms with the fact that this game is already over. Burrow Movement Roaches running by here. Even though they're spotted, I just don't think he cares. It's 156 army supply to 74. And now he can just snipe this hatchery. He can do whatever he wants. Infested Terrans at the back here to help out.
Yeah. Soulkey obviously not happy. You can see it on his face. Kind of talking to himself as well.
Not really sure why he went for the Ultras. I mean, he was already behind, so maybe he was trying to hope for some surprise factor, but when there are, what, 8 Overseers on the map for Corruption, or Contaminate, rather, are you really going to keep that a secret from your opponent? Doesn't look like it.
EffOrt's still dancing. GG's out.
We're going to an ace match, ladies and gentlemen.
This is one of the biggest upsets we had in a while. It takes down Soulkey as ZVZ Master. EffOrt showing that he is not a weak force to be reckoned with. He comes out and surprises all of us casters and a lot of people online as well, I'm sure.
Really, really cool build there. Solid defense. Solid mid-game. And honestly, just looking all around good in the late game. Making some really good setups for the engagement Soulkey was trying to force. Soulkey took a few rough engagements sniping hatcheries. You know, it was good for him to snipe the hatcheries, but it cost him a lot. Rather than remaxing in roaches, he decided something super expensive and super weird, which was to go into Ultralisk, where then EffOrt forced engagement where the Ultralisk didn't have a lot of surface area to actually move around each other, so half the Ultras weren't even able to fight. They didn't have attack upgrades. They were fighting Infested Terrans.
Yeah.
Did not work out. I don't know. I mean, I don't play high-level ZVZ on the ladder, but we just haven't seen Ultras really work in a composition since, like, July Zerg was playing ZVZ. And even then, people would argue it didn't work. I feel like most European Zerg players actually know how to play late-game ZVZ more than we have in Korea. I feel like European Zerg versus Zerg pros out there, you know, players like Stefano, for example, you know, even players like Jadong playing in WCS North America, these players out there in North America and Europe, but Europe especially, all the stalemates that we've seen out there with Stormless and whatnot, they have a really good understanding of how late game ZVZ works and which unit compositions come together. I feel like if you really want to make a gamble like that, I think the better choice is Broodlords. Yeah, they're slow. Well, they're going to be pretty tough in the fight. It's going to be hard to kill your opponent when he's got those. You can kind of siege up the map, especially with that new Frenzy, so you can't fungal them.